Hello, my name is Theo. I'm French and I'm studying in FAPI. Today I want to talk to you about a company I would like to import in Brazil. So for this, first of all, I will present you the company and the product, why I want to import it. After I will talk about the company in France with micro, macro environment and pestle analysis. And then I will talk about Brazil, the targeted country, with analysis of wine market, habits of the population, and the demand analysis. We'll talk about competitors. I made a SWOT and some recommendations to implant this company in Brazil. So, Divin is a French startup born in 2012. It was created by three engineers friends passionate about enology. Their project was to find a way to taste a wine glass at any time under the same conditions of service than a sommelier would do, with good temperature and good quantity. First of all, the company was known uh, to wine to sell wine in glass online. But after 5 years of research and development and a collaboration with more than 30 French industrials, Divine was born. You need to know that Divine received gold medal at the CES of Las Vegas in 2016 for the most innovative startup of the world. So the product. Divine is a tasting machine wine. I mean, it can aerate and put the wine to the adapted temperature, depending of the wine. So, how does it work? You need to insert the flask in the Divine machine. It will automatically adapt preparation according to the flask, thanks to a chip on this flask. There are more than 30 different French wines from our terroir, and your glass is ready in less a minute. Why did I choose to bring Divin in Brazil? Because, first of all, I think wine is one of the most famous and appreciated French products in the world. It is high quality renowned. It is an exclusive form of wine with flask and machine. It never happens before. So I think instantly wine is a new alternative for wine consumption, and it's a good point to make discover our terroir. More Brazilian people love French products. I'm here since 4 months now, and I saw in supermarkets French products that as cheese or wine is very expensive, and packaging are really French made to sell more. No, the company in France. So, for the good points of the company, demand is enormous in France because almost everybody drinks wine, and this is a new way to drink wine. So it is a success, and it is standing out from the concurrence because of this innovation. In France, habits of the population, almost everybody drinks wine. Wine is a tradition. Consumption is common in all the country, and it is the most consumed alcoholic drink in the country. People like me are educated with wine. I mean, for example, in family dinners or special events like Christmas, everybody in France drink wine. But there are bad points. For example, the market is a very competitive one because there are a lot of providers and producers. So yes, the demand is enormous, but the offer is enormous too. So this is difficult for the new incomers. Uh, the baddest point of this company is that in France, as wine is a traditional thing, a lot of people are skeptic against wine in flask because for French people, wine needs to be drunk in bottles. It is a cultural thing. Now, for the pestle analysis. First of all, politic aspect. There are a lot of laws, regulation, and classifications on wine uh, to to consume or to sell or to import. There are a lot of regulations, so this is difficult. Economic aspect. The demand depends of the revenue, and with the internationalization of wine market, providers need to adapt to the taste of consumers. Social aspect. Social, as I said, it's a traditional social and cultural product because everybody in France, almost, of course, drink wine. Technological aspect. So now the technological aspect. For the fabrication, technological progress isn't a priority in the wine market because this sector claims the quality of the age and the traditional knowledge. However, research permits to the sector to improve and optimize process of conservation and fermentation, which makes a better production. Environmental aspects. To protect their vineyards of diseases, wine growers use sulfur, which is very efficacy against diseases, but this is very bad for environment because it makes a decrease of botanical and animal species. So this is very bad for the ecosystem. But now, with the awareness of the importance of ecology, respect of the life, respect of the environment became a commercial argument for wine sellers. Then legislative, it's what I told to you just before with different regulations and laws on the distribution and consumption of wine. So to resume this pestle analysis, I think this sector is one of main French exportation specialty. It has a worldwide renown and is very promising. But it is very difficult to practice in wine market because of the laws complicated the distribution and consumption of this product and advertising and sensitization campaign with the evolving of Mars make an important decrease in French consumption. Now let's talk about Brazil, the Brazilian wine market. First of all, Brazil is the first importer of Latin America in the sector of wine, and 50% of its intern consumption is imported wine. Since the year 2000, there were an increase of 163% for volume and 280% for value of wine in the country. So habits of the population are evolving. Global consumption of wine is increasing, even if the consumption per inhabitant each year is always weak. For the demand, Brazil is from the New World countries about wine consumption and production. It means that it's not an old world country as France, Spain, or Italy. Brazilian people are interested about traditional wines from those old world countries as proof because France is the fourth importer of wine in Brazil, even if French wine is way more expensive than others. So this shows that the Brazilian populations love traditional wine. Now I'm going to talk about competitors. There are two kinds of competitors, direct and indirect competitors. Direct competitors are, for example, a company who sells exactly the same product than you. So in our case, Divine doesn't have direct competitors insofar as nobody else proposes an equivalent product of instantly wine. However, indirect competitors are other companies or products your customer can choose instead of your product. And here we have a lot of indirect competitors. because all producers, importers, and wine sellers are considered as indirect competitors. Chile and Argentina dominate the wine market in Brazil. And more, there are substitute products as catuaba, for example, which is very common in Brazil and is quite similar to wine. Now let's talk about the SWOT analysis I made. So in the folder I made a precise strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats analysis, and here in this video I will talk about few ones. First of all, Divine is a very innovative product, insofar as nobody else did it before. More, it is very aesthetic because it was designed by a famous French designer called Constance Guisset. More, the prize received in Las Vegas at the CES is a very good publicity for the company. And I think French innovation added to wine knowledge gives a successful product. For weaknesses, first weaknesses is Divin is not on the international market yet, but I'm here to change this. Another bad point is the machine could be imposing because it's above 10 kilo, and the price because the machine is expensive. It's almost 900 euro, so it's not accessible to everyone. But for opportunities in the Brazil, I think this product is a new alternative to wine consumption. It's a revolution in the wine world. The important Brazilian demography and the population wealthy who lived in big cities as Brasilia, Sao Paulo, or Rio de Janeiro love wine, especially French wine. So I think it could be an opportunity for us. More, there is no one concurrent who developed a similar product. Then for the treats, I think it's a very closed and competitive sector with a lot of barriers for new incomers. Chile and Argentina has advantage of importation in Brazil because with the Mercosur treaty, they don't pay tax. France needs to pay a tax of 27% of importation. This is why French wine is very more expensive in Brazil. And then laws regulation about transport, importation and consumption can be a threat for our company. So we talked about opportunities and threats this company could faces in Brazil, but now I would like to say a few recommendations to implement this company here. So first of all, I think we should insist on the French made and the quality of the wine. Another thing very important is to propose Brazilian, Chilean or Argentinian wines in flask thanks to partnerships. It could really help us to implant in this market. For the price, with this machine is a little expensive, I think we should target customers with easy situation, but make those South American wines cheaper to touch the most customers possible. For the distribution, I think we should sell machine in all French specialty stores and delicatessens. And we should open a concept store, one in Vila Madalena in Sao Paulo. So why Vila Madalena? Because Vila Madalena is a neighbor for party and for drink, so we could have a visibility for young adults in those neighbor. About the promotion, first thing to do is to hide a Brazilian CM for handle social media, and we could make discover French wine and French terroir with street degustation and information to promote the brand and the wines. Our presence in all salons and events about wines is a necessity, and if the success come, we can try television advertising to touch the most possible customers possible. So now to conclude, I think the concurrence is very important in the wine market in Brazil because of the proximity of Argentina and Chile, who are big exporters of wine, which benefit of the Mercosur to have advantage on France. However, French products seduces Brazilian people and is considered as a quality wine. This aspect, added to the instantly innovation and the new alternative to consume wine, can help the implementation of the divine, especially if the company adapts to the market by adding South American wines to its palette.